and then obviously Tevin Coleman still working through a hamstring, and a bunch of little nicks and bruises.
Robert, what about an update on CJ and Jared Davis?
CJ feels good. Hopefully we can get him going in practice. We'll know more as the week goes on. So day to day, Jared Davis is able to come back to practice this week. Again, whether or not he'll be ready to play on Sundays to be determined, but we can at least get him on the field practicing.
Robert, can you speak to what kind of a setback is, not just for Zach, but just for your program right now? Obviously, one of the main things this year obviously was to develop him and progress.
Mark, I don't think it's a setback. I think it's always good to be able to step away and just watch the offense through the lens of another quarterback. And we thought Mike did a really nice job yesterday running the offense, generating some scoring drives. And for Zach, obviously he is a big piece of this. The quarterback is a big piece of this. So for him to be able to just kind of watch, thankfully it's not a serious injury, but to watch, rehab, catch his breath. But all the other moving pieces with regards to receiver play, O-line play, all that stuff, it's all independent, just so we're still going to be able to develop it as an offense, still be able to develop the scheme. And Zach will still be there learning it and just trying to absorb all the information as he can. So long answer short, I don't think it's a setback at all.
As a quick, just a quick follow to that, is there any benefit? You're trying to find some rainbows here, or whatever. Is there any benefit to him sitting back and watching a little bit without, obviously playing is the best experience, but what can he take out of this in a positive way, and maybe that helps him to step back?
No, I think it's good. If you want to look for a silver lining, it's always when you can watch the same offense that you were running for the first 6 weeks, run through the lens of another quarterback and just to see how he operates within the same system. I think there's a lot to be had. You can learn a lot off what other people do. You can learn, it's different. Like he can sit and watch Tom Brady all he wants, but he's not in that system. He's not sure what's being told, but to be able to watch another quarterback go through the same system, I think can help him generate more of an identity in how he operates within it.
Thanks.
Robert, I assume that you're probably going to, or is it a safe assumption you guys are going to bring Josh up from the practice squad? But do you plan on adding any other quarterback in addition to Josh Johnson?
No, that'd probably be more of a question for Joe. Like I've said before, Joe is going to try to turn over every little piece, every stone to try to find the best ways to get the best players on the field. So that'd be more of a question for Joe.
Robert, was there a sense of relief at all? I mean, you sounded optimistic that it wasn't that bad yesterday. Was there a sense of relief that it is only 2 to 4 weeks at this point?
Yeah, for the person, you never want to see somebody lose a season to an injury ever, and they work so hard. The window's so short, and for them to lose a season, it's not ideal. But so yeah, but it's more for him than anything else that he's not going to have to miss a season. He can still be very active in his rehab, active in his learning, keep pace with the install of the offense, and he'll be back before you know it.
Robert, would you put him on IR?
We still got to talk with Joe. There's a lot to be done over the course of the week with regards to, is it a 2-week injury or a 4-week injury? So it's, there's still possibility for Buffalo, and but we'll know more as the week goes on.
And then on another topic, the last time the Jets suffered a loss as bad as the one yesterday in terms of point differential, Rex Ryan was the head coach, and he went out and he buried the football out in the practice field as a symbol of like, we're moving on from this. I'm curious if you've had any conversations like that with your team today. You're not quite as theatrical as Rex, but have you done anything? Have you done anything to say, you know what, like, we are moving on from this game even more so than you usually do?
Yeah, there's there's not much to be said when you get punched in the mouth the way we did yesterday. I've been a part of a few of them in my career. Everyone knows what the film's going to look like. People aren't looking for more of a beating than, they know. Everyone knows. Coaches know where they've messed up. We know players know where we've messed up. Everyone knows. No one's trying to get beat that bad, but it's probably not a bad idea to throw a football under the victory tree over there and move on. But our guys came in good today. They've got the right mindset, and there's, it's never panic in this league, but the level of urgency that needs to take place will never change. This league is about urgency and trying to absolutely keep your foot in the pedal and to do the best you can every day. And if you're not finding ways to get better, somebody's going to pass you up. And so I think this young group is starting to figure that out, and that it's not panic, but it's definitely urgency.
Robert,
Robert,
what
you
do you
mentioned about the benefit of Zach sitting back and watching someone else run the offense. But a lot of times for young quarterbacks, when they sit back and watch someone else run it, they're watching someone else with some form of experience in running that offense. I mean, with Mike in there, I know he's been in the league for a year, but because he doesn't have much regular season snaps, he's kind of like a rookie as well. So he's going to be dealing with all those first year issues too. I mean, does that complicate the situation any, that Mike has just as much inexperience as Zach does?
No, because it still comes down to playing quarterback. And, if you look at the drives, I have him here. When he came in, there was I thought he came in and executed well, got us inside the 30-yard line on a few drives, gave us a chance to score points, scored to start the second half, finished the drive off that Zach was injured on. So he generated drives, had a drive moving in the right direction, just kind of overthrew Griff on the interception. But the ball was being moved. He was putting the ball where it needed to go, and he was doing a lot of really good things in playing quarterback. We have a lot of faith in Mike. That's why we kept him. And it's and he, to us, proved that he can function within the system.
Robert, I just want to ask you a question about the upcoming trading deadline, which, as you know, is a week away. A lot of times when teams in your position in the standings, they will sell off expiring contracts for future assets, the whole thing, future assets and whatever. The Jets did that last year. What's your feeling about that? Would you be on board if you lose some proven starters for future assets?
My commitment is to our players. Obviously, my job is to try to make Joe's life miserable with regards to trying to pay them all the money that they need to get paid and keep them all under the salary cap. That's my job. So whatever happens in between that is not my focus. I'm really just focused on trying to get these guys to play their absolute best so we can show the entire Jet Nation why I truly believe we're going to win championships. And it's I know it's hard to see right now, but I know the direction we're going, and I know where it's going to get.
Is there anything else for Coach?
Robert, I think when people look at it, you had 2 weeks to prepare for yesterday's game, and then that happens. Just kind of how do you explain the start yesterday, independent of the struggles of this season, just coming out like that after the bye week and struggling like that on both sides of the ball?
Well, offensively, so when we talk about start fast, I know from your lens and all of you guys, with all due respect, I know we were looking at offense, and it was blatant, right? When we talk about start fast, and here all the conversation was about the team, start fast as a team. Defensively has not been that great to start games either. So we're trying to pick up as a team. Offensively, first series was a 3-and-out, but second series, 12-play drive, missed field goal. Third series, touchdown. Fourth series was, let me make sure we're in field goal range, and we turn it over on downs right before the half, where we talked about deferring or not. There's a situation where if we get that first down, we're going to finish the half with the ball, and now we're going in the locker room either 24-10 or 24-14. And with the ball, we scored to start the second. Now it's 24-17 or 24-21. There's a lot of, that's how close it was in my mind. So I thought the offense did a really, really nice job coming out and starting the game the way they needed to start it. We just didn't capitalize and finish in positions that we had a chance to. Defensively, we did not answer the bell. And I think to a man, coach, and player, we can all agree with that. But it's so again, it's continue harping on the small details that separate winning and losing.
And also, Robert, you touched on Mike White previously, but when we asked you about the backup quarterback, which was a hot topic in the offseason, you guys were pretty steadfast about your belief in Mike White. And now, we're going to get to see it. What made you believe in him? I don't think anyone had any familiarity with him other than the front office, but from a coaching staff, what made you believe in him that you didn't have to go out and get a veteran?
No, good question. He is a very calm, calm man. He's a great communicator. He's got great command of the huddle. He's got great command of the offense. He understands progression reads and how to go through a progression, get the ball where it needs to go, understands how to slide in the pocket to throw instead of slide in the pocket to run. He doesn't panic. If you look at his series from yesterday, he did a good job. He went through his progressions, found the checkdowns, created explosive plays, took what the defense gave, but also created an explosive to Corey Davis. And, he was doing a really nice job moving the offense. And unfortunately, we didn't. There was the interception that on the overthrow to Ryan, and then the 4th and 1 on downs where we're in field goal range. We don't get points. But like I said, this is about just running this offense, getting the ball where it needs to go, run the football, and move the chains when you get an op. And we always, throughout OTAs and training camp, we felt like Mike did a really nice job doing that.
Robert, I know that you've been very, your optimism's there. You highlight that consistently, but this is a team that went 2-14 last year. This is a team now that has just one win to this point this year. How do you keep the guys that have been a part of last year's team and this year's team from saying, here we go again?
It's so personal opinion, Connor, like this is the NFL. These men have a lot to play for aside from personal record, right? There's 31 other teams that will see your tape. So when you when you do take the field, your job is to put together the best tape you can, because you don't know what the offseason holds for anybody. And it's just one of those deals where I've never been in a situation where I've seen a player quit, player not take his job seriously. Like, these guys work their tails off. And I know narrative can paint a different picture, but these guys they come in every day. They know that this is a business in the sense that their tape is still going to go out there. So they can cash in if they want to. Coach can cash in if they want to, but it's going to show in the tape. And if it shows in the tape, I promise you're just not going to last in this league. That's just the way it is. And so the motivation to do their job and all that, I don't think will ever go missing.
We'll take a few more for Coach.
Robert, could you just give us an overview of the linebacker position right now? It feels like you guys are juggling a lot of things there in terms of determining who's going to be on your roster for Sunday's game.
Yeah, it's a hurting group, but obviously, hopefully Jared and CJ can make it back. We've got to work out tomorrow with some linebackers coming in. Obviously, Noah's on the roster. Hamza, I think he's another week away, but there's definitely some things that we got to piece together, Brian.
Would a guy you had in earlier, would he be Reuben Foster be a possibility?
That I'm not sure where that is from a medical standpoint. It's from my understanding, it's a little bit of a ways away.
We'll take one more. Last one. All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Recording
Thank
stopped.
you, everybody.
Guys, we're just going to mute the room and then we'll have the first player available.